Crafters, Raquel here with Paints and Glitter. Today I'm coming along to share with you how you can assemble the little jumping buddies from a very festive fair. This is a new collection from Tonic Studios. It does come with 21 dies, as you see here, and pardon the glare. These dies are super, super cute, and I did share in a live video how to put this together. However, that video did not go well, so I figured I should do it again because the footage was not clear, and I wanted to come along and share this with you. So you're going to see this little mechanism, which is the important part of this die set, and I'm going to start building it as I explain. You're going to need 5 pieces that look like this, and this is what's going to allow you to create the kinetic portion of this little make, which is super duper cute. For this one, you just stack all 5 pieces one on top of the other, as you see here. Nothing difficult. Just make sure you get them all really nicely aligned. That's going to be really important. And what I've used is 300 GSM card. I highly recommend that you use a nice thick cardstock for this. It's going to feel like very thin chipboard once you've put these all together. We all have those leftover strips of heavy card from our card making or mini album making, and so I highly recommend that you always save those. I keep mine in a clear box. That way I always have some papers that I can supplement my makes with, and I know that it's heavy duty cardstock. The same will apply to these 4 pieces here. Now these are going to be the little limbs, and what I've done is that I've doubled these up. So I have ivory card in the front and just white cardstock in the back, and you're going to need a total of 8 just adhered back to back, of course. Then you're going to need a total of 12 little discs. Once you have adhered these little discs, you should have 4 groups of 3. So now I'm ready to assemble this. I do need to cut out one piece that looks like this. And if you want to, you can decorate your little bear or your little penguin before you start your assembly. Here's a little penguin I already finished. And you can see that you can definitely add color if you'd like to all those little pieces. But here what I've done is I've used the dies included, and there's the one layer that has a lot of different little details that are so very adorable. What I've done is that I've cut it out twice, and one of them I went ahead and colored in using alcohol markers, and then the other white card I just poked out all of the little pieces and then adhered it right on top, and then that way I could have all those pretty little details. The same technique I used for the scarf, only this time around I did use a glitter marker, and this is an iced ivy, and it's a really beautiful color. That's what I use there to add all of that glimmer and shine to that adorable scarf. Then on the bottom here and on some of these little pieces that you see with that glimmer, I did use a Nuvo drop, and this is in White Blizzard, so it doesn't have color, just has a tiny bit of shine, and I love using that on top of colored paper. Down here I use the glitter marker again, and now I just have to turn this around. I'm going to place this in the center as best as I can, and what you're going to notice here is that it gives you the placement of your items, which is really clever. So I'm going to just turn this around, place adhesive only right down the middle. I'm going to do my best to center this. And because of the size of the little bear, it's really easy to go ahead and do that. If not, you can of course use the grid on your table if you happen to have one. Okay. Now, just to keep it simple, you can take your little piece. You can already tell there's a hat form there. So place that pretty side down. And then what you're essentially going to do is you're going to envelope this with the little tabs that are available here. Now, you don't want a tight hug. That's how I'm going to describe it. You want a loose hug here. So you're going to notice that the little tabs are scored twice. And my advice is that when you see that with a Tonic Studios die, that you know it's not a super flat fold that you'll need with that, but a beveled edge fold, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to hold on to that for 1 second, just make sure that that adheres, but make sure it does not adhere to that one piece that you created. You're going to notice that you can already start moving that. Now let's move on to the center fold here, and we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to use my little fingernails here to help me out. I'm going to fold it over, apply my adhesive, very small amount, you don't need a lot, and then fold the second piece and hold that until it creates good contact. Then before you're done, make sure you move this, make sure it's still able to be kinetic there. You have one more to go. Fold that one over, and the second one, apply your little drop of adhesive, and you're going to notice you barely need any glue at all to assemble this. And allow that to dry for a moment. Move it again, and you can see that that's moving very easily. Now you see the little circles here. This is where your little stacks are going to come in handy. You only need one little drop on top of each one of those. I'm going to use my little pickup tool here. Place that down and do that 3 more times. That one and this one. And now you're going to place the little hat right above the head of the little bear. You can flip it over if you like to here. Okay, this is where your little bear is, let's just say, just standing normally, right, before he starts moving his little arms up and down. So according to that, you may want to place the little arms either up, or you may place them down here. It all depends on the movement that you prefer your little bear to do. I'm going to have mine facing up, and then the little legs like so. Okay, and this is going to make sense when I flip it all over. Now what you're going to notice is that these have these little portions there that look like the gears of a clock, and that's exactly how this is going to work. Those are going to catch onto that center portion and create the movement when you start moving this portion here. So you see the mechanism, how that works? Super clever. Now we want to make sure that these don't fall out. And in order to do so, all you have to do is apply one tiny little drop of adhesive to the center of those little stacks. And now you can cover them with that larger circle that you had cut out. Just make sure that you don't put so much adhesive that you're then locking that in there. You do want to make sure that you only apply adhesive to that stack and then transfer that adhesive over to that larger circle there. Okay, we can now flip this over, and then our little bear should be able to move just fine. Okay, super cute. And now you can, of course, decorate the bear with the little mittens. This does have a second die, and I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. So that if you do want to add the cuffs by applying a layer, you can do that. If not, you can do what I did, which is to just use one layer of paper to keep it nice and thin, and then color it in. I've used alcohol markers that just matched, and I thought would look cute with the rest of the papers in this collection as well. So make sure you put the feet on the right side. Catch myself every now and then. Okay, so just a tiny little bit of adhesive here as well. Okay, just like so. All right, now you can allow that to dry. You can also add his little hat, which I've forgotten to cut out, but let me share with you what that would look like, because it's the same as here on the little penguin. You would just end up adding that, and if you want to, you can use the die included to cut out the paper for all of the little cuffs there. and that looks really adorable. Here, another thing I've done is to top it off with a little bit of crystal glaze from Tonic Studios, and that is clear, but it allows you to have that beautiful shine as well. It just pops the color a little bit more, and that's something that I really like. And then this little guy can also move. And of course, depending on how you've placed the little arms and legs, it's going to look a little bit different. And this one, of course, you can see here on the bottom where you can see that mechanism. If that bothers you, you can color that in black using an alcohol marker, which is what I'm going to do here, just to mask it a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to push down on that and then just use that marker to color that in along that little edge. And that's good enough for me. Here is a sample in which you can go ahead and use your little bear. Once it's all done, of course, you can do the same with the little penguin, but I did share this in a live video, and what I did is to use the tag and stamps die set from Tonic that will coordinate with the papers, and that's what you see here. The paper already has that beautiful silver lining, and all I had to do was use one of the dies to cut it out to be able to use it in this card. Along with that little tag in the background, you see how I was able to use the papers from the collection, and they are double-sided, so you get to see one side you have that image. I did use the one here with the trees, and then the other one with the little children in the background, which coordinated really nicely. But there are plenty here to choose from. They're really adorable. You can, of course, use the colors that you prefer. There are dies also in the collection to cut out all of these little critters. So if that's more to your liking, you can do that. And there's also the foiled rub-ons that you can use, and that's what I've used here, along with the silver colored foil there. And that's how I was able to create those little snowflakes. So don't forget that you can use that, for instance, here on even on the belly of your critters if you'd like to. So here's the piece of foil where I cut away the little snowflakes, and there are some smaller ones here. So to use this foil, it's as simple as cutting it out of the background, and then you get to pick and choose which pieces you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a leftover piece of silver foil that I have here from having made that card with the bear. And I'm going to take these little snowflakes. So all you have to do is take off the carrier sheet. So you peel that away and you place it where you want it. I'm going to just put it on the belly of my little penguin and place it up here. Okay. I'm also going to rub onto that paper using my paper creaser so that way I get an even application all the way around. You do want even pressure before you peel that carrier sheet away. You can then peel this back and it should stay. You'll be able to see that little image, and it looks gray. So if you see an entire gray image, then you know you've done it correctly. Now pick up your piece of foil, and these come in different rolls, and that matte side is what you're going to place on top. So shiny side up, and then rub on that as well. Now you can pull that away, and you'll see that your little image will have that beautiful color on it. So I'm going to repeat that down here. Just apply pressure, make sure it's nice and even all the way around so that that adhesive, that image that you just placed on there is going to grab onto that foil. And it's super easy to go ahead and transform what would otherwise be a plain piece of paper. Now you've got that beautiful shine. If you'd like to, you can also use a smooth precision pen. This has adhesive inside, and in the same manner, you could even do, for instance, the initials of a small child right on the belly of that little penguin. Apply your foil, or go ahead and just use one of the little phrases like winter wishes, ice to meet you. Any one of these would be super cute on top as well. And then that way you can top off a little card or gift tag using these little guys and just make someone's day brighter because they're super cute, they're fun, they're happy, and it's just a way to bring a smile to someone's face, of course. But I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget that there are some amazing sales going on right now at Tonic Studios. I invite you to use my links to shop. They'll be in the description bar of every single one of my videos. Don't forget also to like and subscribe. It makes a difference for my channel. And as I always say, I do hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. And I thank you so much for watching.